Day one, brand new, fresh marathon training block. I'm super pumped. I started training for a marathon back in October, I think, of 2020. Ended up injured, wasn't able to run that, so I'm super excited. Really stoked to be bringing you guys along on this one, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right. Ooh, not all right. What's going on? You would probably never know it based on how I film in here, but this is a super tiny room, so I always gotta like move furniture around and do different things whenever I'm filming, and there's just cables running everywhere, and we got light stands and cameras, and it's just a big deal. What's up, guys? I hope you are well. I've got a bit of a different video for you guys here today. 1 mile down, feeling phenomenal, heart rate. Mile 3 down, feeling great.
We got up early this morning and ran 6:30 in the morning.
Final mile down, mile 5. One of my favorite things about the easy runs is that they really kind of remind you why you enjoy running, because I want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, but is also completely not related to filmmaking and photography, which is the majority of the content on this channel up to this point. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen on my stories recently that I've been posting running updates during my runs or before and after my runs. And you'll know that I've been actually training for a marathon for a good while. I think it was either October or November of 2020 I began training for my first marathon with a goal to run one in March and then run one again here coming in October. And about 2 or 3 weeks out, it was like the end of February, I was going to cross the street, took off sprinting to beat some traffic, and something happened in my Achilles. Just kind of felt it string up real tight like a rubber band, and it was painful and annoying and the whole thing. I went to my orthopedic surgeon who did my ACL surgery a few years back, and they basically just told me that I had some Achilles tendonitis and I could keep running, I could keep training, but running a marathon at that point probably wouldn't be the best idea. What can happen with Achilles tendonitis is if you overwork it, you can rupture your Achilles, and that's a really bad scenario. It's as bad as it sounds. So I had to call the marathon off in March. Me and my training partner, his name's Sel, we kind of made the decision not to run that one. It's also going to be his first marathon, so we really want to do it together. We'd been training the whole time together up to that point. So we started preparing to run our next marathon, or our first marathon. We're registered. It is October 10th. It's the Steamtown Marathon in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's a Boston qualifier. Not that we are planning to qualify for Boston, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this video and some subsequent videos in the coming weeks, just updating how the marathon training is going. This channel is mostly about filmmaking and photography, creative entrepreneurship, creative business. But I've seen this huge crossover recently between creatives, creative business people, filmmakers, photographers, and running. There's a huge number of people who I'm personally friends with, or who I follow, who are both filmmakers, photographers, creative business owners, and also runners. So I think there's a pretty large overlap there, which is one of the reasons I want to kind of incorporate some of this running content into my channel. But also, this is something fun for me. I really love running. I really enjoy it. I want to have some content to get me excited about making videos beyond just filmmaking, photography, gear, the normal stuff. So I'm really just doing this for me. Plus, it'll be pretty dope to document the training process for my first marathon. And hopefully I would love to build a little bit of community around running. So if you are a runner yourself and a creative, or just one or the other, if you'd consider subscribing and dropping me a comment, letting me know. I'd love to have conversations. There's two things I love talking about with people. It's filmmaking, photography, that stuff, and running. So I just wanted to put this out there let you guys know what I'm doing, what I have going on. I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, it's definitely different than my normal content, but I hope it's something you guys find engaging, exciting, encouraging, and just I'm stoked to have some people along for the ride on this one. So I think over the course of shooting these kind of videos, this documenting of my marathon training, I'll probably end up doing kind of a broad sweep of what running entails for me. So at some point, you know, there's going to be certainly running updates and updates about my runs and different stuff like that. But I'll probably kind of lay out the training schedule that I'm on, what I'm working on, the goal, the purpose, the focus of some of those runs. I'm going to have to pick out a marathon shoe. So there will definitely be some gear related stuff, which I am a gearhead. It doesn't matter if we're talking cameras or guitars or whatever, running. I'm a gearhead. I love gear. So I'll probably be doing some shoe talk when I finally pick up my marathon training shoes, talking about that. So there's going to be a mixed bag of running content here, but it's all going to fall under the umbrella of I'm running my first marathon. It's October 10th, Steamtown Marathon, Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm pumped. I'm registered. I'm ready to go. So yeah, up to this point, running has felt great. Week 1 of running was awesome. It was actually a bit dialed back from what I had been doing the previous weeks. The 2 weeks leading up to beginning this 18-week training block, I had been running about 35 miles a week. The first few weeks have been really great because they've actually been a decrease in mileage for me. So been a little bit of a refreshing thing. A lot of the miles that you log when you're training for a marathon are pretty slow miles. You really want to train your aerobic system, which is low intensity, low heart rate, slow miles, and then you do some speed work, you do some tempo work, do some pace work. But by and large, the vast majority of the miles that you're running are pretty slow. So it's been really awesome. I've really enjoyed the last couple weeks of marathon training. I've in the first couple of weeks even seen some pretty cool breakthroughs in terms of, seeing some really low heart rates at paces that I've never been able to achieve low heart rates at before. Like week 2, I'm sure I'll talk about this in my next video when I cover my week 2 of training. But in week 2, I ran I went on a training run. I ran it a little faster than I was supposed to, but I ran the run at I think 7:52 per mile was my average pace, and my heart rate was in the low 150s, I think 154. And then, a couple other runs where I've been hanging low 8s, like 8:05 a mile for longer distances, and my heart rates were in the 140s. And I've never done that. My first marathon training block, I was just kind of pedal to the metal all the time, which is probably why I ended up injured and not able to run that first marathon. But it's taken some practice for me. It's really, to be perfectly honest, it's taken some beating down of my ego to be like, it's okay to run slow. It's healthy to run slow. It benefits you a lot to run slow. And it's very counterintuitive, right? When you think about running a marathon, you think, I need to train hard. I need to run fast as I can, highest heart rate I possibly can, get in the best shape that way. But it's really not how it works. You run slow. You train at a lot of very low intensity mileage in order to be able to run your marathon faster at the pace that you want. And so my goal, my target, just going to put it out there, is 3.5 hours for my first marathon. That's 8 minutes a mile, just under 8 minutes a mile. So I'll need to run, 7:59 per mile or faster for my first marathon. As of now, in week 3, I have hit all my targets for training runs, but it's week 3. So a long ways to go, still 15 weeks of training left at this point, so we will see. We've got work to do, but I think it's totally achievable. I'm super encouraged just in general, but I'm really encouraged in seeing the difference in what the beginning of my training block last October looked like in the beginning of this current training block. They look vastly different. I feel incredibly better. I feel so much stronger. I've been feeling amazing in these first couple weeks of training. So with that, I hope you guys, are down for this kind of content. I'm really excited to be making some of this. Another aspect of this is running content gives me some freedom to just throw the camera up there and make something, which as a creator, as a filmmaker, as a photographer, when I'm making stuff on YouTube related to filmmaking and photography, I feel like it needs to be super polished. Like I'm a professional filmmaker, so if I throw up a video that looks half baked, that's not going to be good for my professional career. Like I need my film work, my video work to look professional because I am a professional. That's not necessarily entirely true, but that's the way my mind kind of goes about it. And running gives me a different outlet where I don't have to feel like it needs to be so perfect. It's not related to my profession, so I can just create content and make things and get excited because it takes way less effort to prepare these videos, to make these videos. It's way easier for me as a creator to just plug and play essentially. So I'm excited to be able to kind of flex those creative muscles as well and just create some videos that I'm excited about the content, but I don't need to nitpick the details and I don't need to get really, really granular about making it look and feel and sound as incredible as possible. I mean, the vast majority of these all of these running updates that I'm posting live from my runs are shot on my iPhone, so they're gonna be shaky. The footage is not gonna look good. I mean, it's shot on an iPhone as I'm running, holding it out. So it's just a way for me to enjoy making something that I don't need to feel looks perfect. And there's some real value for that, some real value in that for me as a creator. So I'm really excited, guys. If you enjoyed this video, consider throwing it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any questions you guys have about running. If you guys want to join along and do some training, if you want to train for a half marathon or a marathon or a 10K or a 1 mile run, I don't care. I would love to hear if this inspires any of you guys to go out and hit the pavement and get some miles in and go running. Yeah, I just love building community around stuff like this. So let me know, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video. I gotta go take a run. Much love. Peace.